My word, it's really hot here today. I'm back from halfway through the nature reserve now. I've walked through about 2 miles of it now. And from my failed flamingo attempt, trying to film flamingos I should say, in case you haven't seen the other video. I'm just going to chat now a little bit about synchronicity, because synchronicity has been creeping into my life quite a lot in different ways, in personal life and in business. It's sort of a word that keeps cropping up. And I'm going to give you my views on it. And I'm going to point the camera at the path and carry on walking, because I think it's more interesting than staring at my ugly mug. So, hopefully you can still see what I'm doing. Hear me, I should say. Now, synchronicity is, clearly it's the correct word for when things are synchronized. I mean, that's obvious. Synchronized swimmers mimic each other, and so therefore they are in synchronization, if you like. But the word gets used in all the wrong context in a spiritual sense. Synchronicity exists. It exists when people, for instance, two people that are very attracted to each other, maybe sat in a bar together, you'll see one mimic the other. They'll mirror each other. In a way, they are synchronizing. That is synchronicity. One will pick a glass up, the other one will reach for the glass. One will touch the side of their head, the other one will. These are common body language traits that happen when people are attracted to one another. It is synchronicity. Synchronicity to me is mimicry. It's the same when we, for instance, stare at say the clouds, or a brick or a stone wall, or what else could we say, some fabric like curtains. We spot things in it, we spot faces or shapes. And this is because our brains are hardwired to look for patterns. It's what gives us the edge, in intellect, because we're looking for reasons, we're looking for answers, and we get that through, that intrinsic desire to understand what's in front of us. And I think that synchronicity comes from that as well. It's a byproduct of it when we talk about it in a spiritual sense. Now, what I mean from that is that we will say, for instance, I heard this one today, funny enough, and it's quite a good example. Someone was sat on a park bench, I think, and they said that they had thought of a song, and then somebody came and sat down on a bench, I think either beside them or opposite them or something, and they immediately started to sing or hum that song. And they said, well, that was uncanny. And of course, on the face of it, it does sound quite, what a coincidence at the very least. But of course, it's quite easily explained, because the chances are, and actually in a very interesting way, the chances are that the subconscious is, they've actually picked up on the gentleman already humming the song. Maybe he was behind them, maybe he was just down the road, but somewhere the subconscious grabbed it without them being really fully aware of it, and installed the thought of that song. And then of course, when they actually heard it for real, on a more conscious level, they looked for the pattern of synchronicity, where actually it had already been laid down as a trigger. You see, that's very explainable. The alternative is not, it can't be explained. So, whilst we have an explanation, it makes more sense that would be correct. And of course, if it's a very popular song, you could bring into coincidence into it as well, because maybe more than one person has heard it that day on the radio. But there you go. There's lots of ways to explain it, but the one that gets explained is the one that doesn't make the most sense. We do it, we've all done this one. We've thought of somebody, and lo and behold, the phone rings and it's them. Now, again, on the strength of that, it seems extremely unlikely, and you could think, wow, that's really crazy, that's powerful, what happened? But the truth of the matter is that synchronicity works with people because they tend to ignore the misses and only remember the hits. It's another flaw in our thinking, because we're not perfect by any means, and this is a flaw. So what we do is we remember the one time that happens in a blue moon, and we forget the hundreds of times that we're thinking of that person, and the phone never rings at all. You know, and that's how it happens. That's how we think about these things. That's how we do things. And so synchronicity on a spiritual level is unproven, and doesn't make as much sense as the logical ways to describe it. Now, it certainly exists, but like I say, it's explainable. I do think that if two people are connected, then they are likely, and talk regularly and all the rest of it, they are likely to synchronize. But they are likely. It's very explainable though. It's not on some energy level from the universe or anything like that. It's just literally that they are synchronized because they've got used to the way they talk, and they're connected. So you could say it's connected in energy wise, but it's, you know, they finish each other's sentences, and they're probably talking about the same subjects. So of course someone is going to say the same things, and that just works that way. And the more you talk to someone, the more that is likely to happen. Like if you didn't talk to someone hardly at all, then, you know, you're not going to synchronise very much, are you? So I'll turn the camera around again. You know, I think I can prove that I can talk and walk. I knew that already though, didn't you? Yeah, so that's just my views on synchronicity. It certainly is a real thing in the fact that you synchronise with people, and you do see it on the level of mimicry when people are connected to each other. But as for sort of like trying to make it into some spiritual kind of airy-fairy thing that's going on, well, there's no proof of that at all. And, you know, could that be right? Well, I suppose so, but I can't prove that it isn't. But I've got a number of ways to prove that, you know, what it's more likely to be. And that's down to the way we think, and the flaws in our thinking, really. Because, you know, we've not evolved to be a perfect thing, any means at all. Some design, eh? But anyway, that's enough of that. I'm going to walk the rest. I think I've got another 1.5 miles to go. It's getting very, very hot here. It's very intense. It's actually quite late in the afternoon. I think it's probably more like about 5 p.m. now. I've lost track of time, but it's certainly beaten down. But still, I love it. Anyway, chat to you later.